And we say good morning to you, broadcasting live on this Wednesday. It's Chick-Fil-A Day, and that's where we are live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, on this Wednesday, May the 2nd, 2018. Countdown to Christmas, if you care, and most don't. 236 days to Christmas, and we are, of course, live here on show number 739. We're here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, as we crank up, get ready to go on this Wednesday, hump day. Beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. Of course, last night we had baseball. We'll tell you all about that coming up in a few minutes. Ran into a pretty good baseball team. No, we rephrase that, a real good baseball team, the Scienceville Hilltoppers, and we'll talk about that team. And, of course, our tournament starts Friday night. We'll tell you all about that as well, and all that's coming up. We've got college basketball. We've got college football. We've got the National Hockey League, got the NBA, got college, or rather high school baseball and softball. We got some NASCAR news. Got all kinds of sports for you. Greg Salyer is going to join us at the top of the hour, talking again Major League Baseball. And then, of course, we will be ready to roll with our buddy Joe Avento at the bottom of the hour at the 12:30 mark of the show. Of course, he is the sports director of the Johnson City Press, King Sports Times News. So got those folks coming up and more here again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on this Wednesday, May the 2nd. As we said, 2018, show number 739. Tomorrow, Champion Chevrolet. Friday, we'll be at Food City in Boones Creek on a Food City Friday. We always start our show. We dedicate it to the man who hung on the cross. Show continues to grow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Like and share. We picked up, it's been a ton of followers here in the last couple of weeks, and we appreciate that very much. Our verse today to get us started, Isaiah 12:2 says, I am your salvation. Trust in me and do not be afraid. I am your strength and your song. I am your salvation. Trust in me and do not be afraid. I am your strength and I am your song. And that's the verse of the day to get us started out of the book of Isaiah. As we dedicate the show to the man who hung on the cross, we unashamedly, this is his show. And so we thank you for being with us. Of course, the sun's out, tells us it's time for, it's time to bring it out here and start talking it up again. Spring's here. Blue Lizard, Australian sunscreen made right here in Johnson City, Crown Laboratories, shipped all over the world. This is water resistant for 80 minutes. See right there on the bottle, sold all over the world. And there you go. It's zinc oxide formula. The bottle turns blue in UV light. Dermatologist recommended, and again, you can stop by and pick it up just about anywhere that you want to purchase this. I know Mike's Medicine Mart, they certainly have it for sure. Again, and so Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen. Bottle turns blue in UV light. Zinc oxide formula, water resistant. Again, for up to 80 minutes. So when you go swimming or go to the lake, go fishing, go wherever, in the pool, wherever you may go and wherever you may be doing around water and what you're doing, just remember it is water resistant for 80 minutes. That is for you, the sport. This one's specified and specifically for the face. And this one, of course, Blue Lizard, is for little people. SPF 30 plus for babies. So Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen, and the cap turns blue, and the bottle turns blue in UV light. Actually, it's starting to turn a little bit blue here, but although we're inside, but again, it'll turn total blue. The cap or the bottle does in UV light. So Blue Lizard, available at any and all retail outlets, and they're all over the place. And so again, we proudly tell you they sell it at Mike's Medicine Mart, one of our great sponsors in Kingsport, and of course they're everywhere. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen. Again, they've got, this one is sport for those active and again water resistant up to 80 minutes. This one's baby for the baby, and this one is for the face. And so there you go. That's what's going on with our good friends from Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. We'll jump in and go. Our first look will be at Major League Baseball. But first, let's check in with one of our good friends. That will be our buddy. Hello. Uh-oh, the Godfather is... Oh, man. Oh, man. Thank you. Did you autograph it? Oh, I love it. Love this guy. He just brought me a book. Tim Birchfield, the owner. Wealth, Is It Worth It? Truett Cathy. Oh, boy. I'll start on that tonight. A job well done, no matter how small. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Anyway, I got that book, and this one's called, well, I need this one called Elite Minds, because I don't have one. So there you go. Explain that what you believe is the most important thing in the world to you. Awesome. The Elite Minds, Stan Beecham. So I've got new reading material, courtesy of my buddy Tim Birchfield. Awesome. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. All right, where was it? Lost my train of thought. Oh, Jeff Bingham from Bingham and Hensley. He is ready to go from E&H Wealth Strategies, and we'll have him up, ready to roll, and then we'll come back. We'll take a look at Major League Baseball as we crank it up. Show number 739. We'll do that right after you hear this from Champion Chevrolet on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City's huge spring sale is in full swing. We have over 600 new Chevys to choose from with savings up to 20% off MSRP. 17 Silverado 1500, 20% off MSRP with over 200 in stock. 17 Silverado HD, 13% off MSRP. 2017 Equinox Traxxon Malibu, 20% off MSRP. Don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-Fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini-series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
This is Andrew McKeon, president of Carter County Bank. Carter County is blessed with amazing characteristics. Natural beauty, caring people, and locally owned small businesses all make our community one of the best places in America to live. Remember to support Carter County small businesses with your purchases, because for every $100 you spend at a Carter County owned business, $45 stays here to create local jobs and support our schools. When you spend $100 at a national chain store, only $14 remains in our community. So no matter where you roam, hurry back home. Let's pull together to support local business and make our community even better. Carter County Bank is big on small.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Hello. I want a book report on your new reading material tomorrow. Horace in the house. Oh, no. I got to sit up straight. Horace is with me. We're here live at Chick-Fil-A. It is cool. That is a great book. Wealth, is it worth it? I've been reading the Truett Cathy autobiography, the founder of Chick-Fil-A. It's awesome. And so this is a brand new book that Tim gave me. Wow. Can't wait to start on that tonight. All right, we're going to start on sports, see what's going on here again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. I guess that means, you know what that means. Hello, Horace. Hello, Jerry Keller. Watching the show again, be sure and like us and share us. We're up over, well over 1,100 followers every day, and we appreciate that very much. All right, Major League Baseball, let's run them down for you. First off, as we told you earlier in the week, Daniel Norris out 8 to 12 weeks with a groin injury. The guy just can't seem to get healthy and stay healthy, so he's been put on the shelf for 8 to 12 weeks. His team beat Tampa Bay yesterday 2-1. Texas over Cleveland 8-6 in 12 innings. Kansas City beat the Red Sox, which is kind of a rarity. Kansas City, the second worst team in baseball behind the pitiful, lowly Cincinnati Reds. Now, I'm going to tell you, when Greg Salyer gets in here in a little while, he's an optimist. He will tell you, a team that's 7-23, that there's good things happening for the Reds. So I keep looking for that, and I don't see anything happening good for the Reds. But anyway, the second worst team, Kansas City, went into Boston last night, beat the Red Sox 7-6 in 13. The Yankees shut out Justin Verlander, and the Houston Astros 4-0 last night. That's huge. Keep an eye on this Yankee team. I'm telling you, they're a pretty good ball club. And so they go in and beat Verlander, who was 4-0. The Yankees win 4-0. Toronto 7, Minnesota 4 in 10 innings. You had the Cardinals over the White Sox 3-2. It was the Angels. We got a party back here having a big time. We'll just keep going louder. We'll just out-talk them. Angels beat Baltimore 3-2, and it was Seattle doubling up Oakland in the American League 6-3. In the National League, Atlanta beat the Mets 3-2. Don't look now, but the Braves are half game out of first place in the NL East. Washington all over Pittsburgh 12-4. Miami beat Philadelphia 2-1 in 10. Milwaukee beat the Reds 7-6. What else is new? Colorado 3, Cubs 1. Again, as we said, interleague play, Cardinals beat the White Sox 3-2. On the left coast, in this case in the Southwest, Kershaw started, apparently did not do well. Arizona beat him 4-3 over the Dodgers, and San Diego 3-2 over San Francisco. Here's your schedule. First off, in the American League, got 5 day games today. Kansas City at Boston, Tampa Bay at Detroit, Texas at Cleveland, Toronto at Minnesota, and the White Sox in St. Louis. Tonight under the lights, the Yankees in Houston, Dallas Keuchel on the mound for Houston. Severino goes for the Yankees. Baltimore and Los Angeles, and Oakland will be at Seattle in the American League. In the National League today, White Sox, Cardinals, Colorado, Chicago. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Cubbies, who's 0-2, 2:20 first pitch at Wrigley. Other day games, San Diego at San Francisco. Tonight under the lights, the Pirates at Washington, Atlanta and New York, Milwaukee at Cincinnati, Philadelphia and Miami, and the Dodgers will be with their series continuing in Arizona. So that's what's going on in Major League Baseball again on this Wednesday, May the 2nd, 2018. High school baseball running down for you from yesterday and last night. Science Hill, we called this game. They're good. I'm telling you. If they don't, I'm going to put the monkey on their back, but if they don't go to the state tournament, they've underachieved. They're a very, very good baseball team. There's not too many chinks in the armor for Ryan Edwards and the Science Hill Hilltoppers. They beat Elizabethton, who's a good ball club. They're 19-8. Beat them 10-0 in 5 innings at Cardinal Park, or TVA Credit Union Ballpark now. Crockett beat East 8-7. Don't look now, but Nick Lingerfeld, here's a team that had won like 2 games, and all of a sudden they're 9-21. Now, you say, well, they're still 9-21. Yeah, but my point is, these kids, Nick Lingerfeld in his first year as the coach of the Crockett Pioneer baseball team, kids are beginning to believe in him, and it's showing. They're finding ways to win, and once you can figure out when you're a player of any sport that you can win something and know how to win and get used to winning, it becomes a habit. And so Crockett beats East last night in a non-conference game, but a win's a win. They're now 9-21. Dobbins Minute over Unicoi County 12-5. This is the final couple of games of the regular season. Tournament starts on Friday. We'll tell you about that in a moment. Cherokee beat Granger 8-2. Volunteer over Solomon Central 14-10. Football score. University High over Unaka 11-5. And Union beat Sullivan North 9-7. In Southwest Virginia baseball, G.I. Burton over Castlewood 7-0. Eastside beat Twin Springs 11-2. Gate City over Wise Central 7-4. Abington defeats Lehigh 11-1 in 5 innings. John battled the Trojans over Ridgeview 10-0. Union beat Sullivan North in a cross-state ball game 9-7 the final there. Today, baseball, you've got Cherokee at Greenville, University High at Happy Valley, South Green at Hampton, Avery County, North Carolina at Cloudland, and John Battle at Union. AAA tournament's been set. It goes like this. Dobbins Minute plays Cherokee Friday in the opening round of the AAA tournament at J. Fred Johnson Stadium at 3 o'clock. At 5:30, Tennessee High plays Volunteer. This is a single elimination Friday. Lose, you go home. And then at 8 o'clock, where they save the best for last, Boone and Crockett, holy tamale, the old backyard rivalry in Washington County. That'll be at 8 o'clock on Friday night. All 3 games at J. Fred Johnson Stadium. Saturday, of course, we got rain in the forecast. Wouldn't you know it? Saturday, Dobbins Minute takes on, or rather Science Hill takes on the DB Cherokee winner at 11 o'clock. And then the other 2 games, the Tennessee High Volunteer, Boone Crockett winner will play at 1:30. Our tournament starts Friday night, TVA Credit Union Ballpark, Johnson City. We'll play at 5 o'clock against the playing game between Happy Valley and Johnson County. And that game winner will play at noon on Saturday. That's been pushed up earlier in the day because it's prom night for several of the schools. So we'll play 5 o'clock. 4:30 we're on air with the broadcast. 4:30 pregame, first pitch at 5 o'clock. They'll be coming up again on Friday from TVA Credit Union Ballpark. It'll be the Elizabethton Cyclones against the winner of the Happy Valley Johnson County playing game, which will play tomorrow night. And so that's what's going on there. In single A, you have, that'll be played at Crockett High School on Friday. 5 o'clock, Cloudland North Green. At 7 o'clock, the Hampton Bulldogs take on Sullivan North, and they'll move into double elimination coming up on Saturday. That's all in baseball. And softball from yesterday, let's run them down for you. It was Crockett's ladies defeating Cherokee 9-2. Elizabethton all over Happy Valley. The Lady Cyclones beat the Lady Warriors 15-4. And you had Unicoi County taking 2 from Johnson County, 2 5-inning games, 9-0 and 10-0 in softball. In Southwest Virginia from yesterday, John Battle's ladies over Ridgeview 2-0. It was Twin Springs over Eastside 8-5. Wise Central beat Gate City's ladies 7-6. Ryeco's Lady War Eagles over Thomas Walker 13-3. Here's your games today. This is a biggie. Woo-hoo. This is real big. As Andy would say to, or Barney would say to Andy, it's big, 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 big. Boone and Crockett at 4:30 this afternoon. More than likely, Crockett wins. They win the Big 7 championship. If Boone would beat them, they'd put them in a 2-way tie for the top of the pack in the Big 7 softball. Boone, Crockett, 4:30. Volunteer, Tennessee High. Happy Valley's ladies at Elizabethton tonight at 5 o'clock. Unicoi County at Sullivan East, Unaka at North Green, Twin Springs at Sullivan North, Cloudland at Avery County. Those are the games tonight in softball in Tennessee. In Virginia, Abington takes on Holston, Castlewood at Council, and Union at John Battle. Now the softball, the AAA tournament will be at Science Hill, and none of the bracketing has been set yet. The AA will be played at Elizabethton, and the single A at Unaka, simply because they're still playing regular season conference games because of the weather. And so they're down to trying to get all this decided over the next couple of days and get it rolling. So we'll have a better idea tomorrow of the softball in single A, AAA, and AA. The single A tournament will be Unaka, the AA tournament at Elizabethton, and the AAA tournament at Science Hill in softball. Tom Taylor Sports Show again. We are live. We are on the road again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Soccer from yesterday. Michael Smelter had won the show many, many times, taking over the coaching jobs at Crockett High School for the first time ever. First time ever they played Science Hill to a 0-0 tie. You say, well, what's the big deal about that? Normally that's never, ever been the case. They've never beaten them. They've never played a tie ever, I was told, in the history of the school. And so Crockett and Science Hill played a 0-0 tie. What's this mean? That means that Michael Smelter's getting things turned around. Dobbins Minute beats Daniel Boone in soccer 9-0. University of Wolverhampton 4-0 in soccer. In Virginia, Wise Central doubles up Gate City's guys 4-2. John Battle's boys beat Ridgeview 3-0. In Virginia, they both play soccer in the spring. Of course, in Tennessee, it's girls in the spring and boys in the fall. Girls in the fall, boys in the spring. But in Virginia, they both play at the same time. So girls soccer from yesterday, Gate City beat Wise Central 1-0. Abington over Lehigh 5-0. And John Battle shuts out Ridgeview 7-0 in girls high school soccer in Southwest Virginia. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We thank you for being with us. We are live here at Chick-fil-A. Hello, Jerry Keller. Thank you, my friend. Horace says I want a book report. Oh, yeah. Hopefully got lots of pictures I can kind of skip through. But I'm afraid there won't be too many pictures. Some great, great words from the late Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A. So Tim Birchfield brought us the books, and I appreciate that very much. We'll take a quick break, come right back. We have coming up, we've got college football, we've got college basketball, we've got some NASCAR news for you. All that straight ahead. We'll also take a look at the Predators and what happened last night as they got beat. We'll also bring you up to speed on what's going on in the NBA as King LeBron did it again for the Cavaliers as the NBA playoffs continue into round 2. And we'll do all that coming up. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour, an extensive look as only he can do, and he does a phenomenal job. I give him a hard time all the time, but he is really, really thorough and really good at what he does. Our buddy Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball at the top of the hour. Then at 12:30, the sports director from the Johnson City Press and the Kingsport Times News combined now, Joe Avento, will join us, and so we'll see what he's got to say in the crazy world of sports, and I'm sure he's going to gloat to a certain point about the evil empire, the New York Yankees, who are putting together a pretty nice season already, 19-10, 9 over, and went in and taken 2 from Houston, the defending world champions of Major League Baseball. So I'm sure he is glowing and very proud of that fact, as well he should be. Quick break. We'll be right back. We are live at Chick-fil-A again on this Wednesday, the home of Tim Birchfield and the lovely Connie Larimer, the singing marketing girl. Tim, you ever heard her sing? You heard her sing? You ever heard her sing at church? They call her the Celine Dion of the Tri-Cities. Oh, yes. Who? Beyonce. There you go. The Beyonce of the Tri-Cities. I can't top that. Who? Katy Perry? We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll take a look, as we said, at some college basketball and some college football news next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop. So it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad-spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings, North Johnson City. Here's one. I'm all about promoting our veterans, and here's one right here. This is Freedom is Not Free, our run for our veterans on May the 25th at Veterans Memorial Park here in Johnson City. Through our buddy Kieran Hubbs, again, the Goose Chase, goosechase.org. Come kick off your Memorial Day weekend with us, open to everyone. Walkers, runners, hand cycles, strollers, four-legged friends. All proceeds will go to the Johnson City, Washington County Veterans Memorial Foundation to help with the cost of Phase 3 of the memorial. It says right up the top, and she's right, this is something Karen put out. Freedom is not free. Run for our veterans on Friday, May 25th at 6:30 at Veterans Memorial Park. All about it. Again, my father was United States Marine Corps Semper Fi. Telling a guy yesterday, there's two songs we learned early at the Taylor household growing up was Jesus Loves Me, This I Know, for the Bible Tells Me So. The other one we learned pretty early in our life is the United States Marine Corps theme, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. So, the United States Marine Corps Semper Fi. So, one of the branches, obviously, we salute every chance we can on the show, because freedom is not free. And so this is a race coming up on Friday, May 25th, 6:30. If you can walk it, run it, as it says, hand cycles, unicycles, strollers, four-legged friends, and it's going to be at Veterans Memorial Park here in Johnson City at 6:30 on Friday, May 25th, which is, 3 weeks from Friday. So if you get a chance, take that in and be a part of that. And if you can't run, or I don't run, well, let's walk it. In fact, if I'm not doing a ball game that night, I probably will walk it just to be a part of that, because I'm all about saluting our veterans. I thought it was pretty cool. Did you see what our president did yesterday? Won't get into politics in the show, but for the guy that gets hammered all the time, when he does something good, you never hear anything about it. Only when he messes up, only when it's Stormy Daniels, whatever's out there that's negative, you hear about that. But, of course, he signed into legislation yesterday for our veterans to get service at medical treatment, medical service at any hospital in the country. Don't hear anything about that, do you? Nope, of course not. But when he does something wrong, everything he does is wrong practically. And they were on Melania Trump last week because she had a white hat on. They had a state dinner. I think it was some folks from France came over, the president and his wife, and she had a white hat on, and the first lady of France couldn't reach up and give her a peck because of the brim of her hat. And they were all over. I'm thinking, really? And then I read where the North Korean dictator says if we don't attack him, he's going to get rid of his nuclear missiles. It's not what we heard from our previous administration. So we kept hearing about red lines drawn in the sand that were never adhered to, but that's a whole other story. I'm all about the veterans. My point to all this, I got sidetracked. Friday, May 25th, 6:30, Veterans Memorial Park. Again, the website, runforourveteransjc.com. Runforourveteransjc.com. Please consider being a part of that in any way, shape, or form. Walk it, run it, whatever. Again, let these veterans know that we've not forgotten. We shouldn't. They have certainly done what they needed to do. They answered the call to serve our country and serve you and I. Don't forget, it's Derby weekend coming up. We'll talk about that in a minute. Kentucky Derby weekend. Greg Salyer joins us at the top of the hour with Major League Baseball. Virginia Tech co-defensive coordinator Galen Scott resigning from his position over the weekend after admitting that he used recruiting trips to pursue an extramarital affair. Scott, who's been at Virginia Tech the last 2 seasons, just promoted to co-defensive coordinator this offseason, had recently come under fire following a report out of the Richmond Times-Dispatch newspaper. The paper obtained an email sent to administrators at Virginia Tech revealing Scott had used recruiting trips to maintain a romantic relationship. One Scott admitted to in a statement to the Roanoke Times. Of course, he's married, and so he is apologizing to his family, and so he has stepped away. And after a sit-down with head coach Justin Fuente, Scott says the two agreed he should resign from his position, and so he's no longer the co-defensive coordinator at Virginia Tech. Purdue football, Jeff Brom originally signed a 6-year contract in December of 2016 when he arrived from Western Kentucky, made him the 7th highest paid coach in the Big Ten at $3.3 million in total pay. Received a raise that brings his annual guaranteed compensation to $3.5 million this year, and to receive a $100,000 raise annually over the next 7 years, meaning he'll be paid $4.2 million in 2024. Jeff Brom, contract extension to stay as the head football coach for the Purdue Boilermakers. So they are 7-6, finishing third in the Big Ten West. Defeated Arizona in the Foster Farmers Bowl. Home attendance grew. Check this out. This is where things go good. Home attendance grew by over 13,000 fans a game, putting the bodies in the seats, and therefore they said we're going to give you yet another pay raise for Jeff Brom. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live on the road again today at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Again, the frosted lemonade looking real good up there, the frosted coffee. Also, you have the ice cream cone, but again, the hand-spun milkshakes, and of course the frosted sunrise, which you take the Simply Orange and the vanilla ice cream and whip it together. It is a really cool drink in a literal sense on a warm day today. It's not hot yet, but it's getting warm, and we love it. Spring has sprung finally here in the hills of East Tennessee. It's going to be great the next couple of days before rain rolls in here, but anyway, you want to stop by and check out the Frosted Sunrise, and of course salad time. It's all kinds of different salads we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. So this is where you want to come, the Chick-fil-A, the Crossings here in North Johnson City. And of course, Elizabethton Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. Our buddy Tommy Tipton, and so we got Chick-fil-A covered from Johnson City to Elizabeth, and we appreciate that very, very much. College basketball, Romeo Langford, young man who plays in New Albany, Indiana. The obvious, you'd want him to go, if you're an Indiana fan, to Indiana to play for the Hoosiers. Well, guess what? He is. He will continue his education and basketball career at Indiana University. Place went nuts. He's the number 6 prospect in the class of 2018. So Romeo Langford picking anywhere other than Indiana would have been a big blow to the recruiting attempts of Sean Miller, who's now the head coach, of course, at not Sean Miller. Sean Miller's in Arizona. Oh, I just went blank. What's the name of the head coach at the Indiana Hoosiers? Dadgummit, I went totally blank. Sean Miller's at Arizona. Trying to think this one through here. Anyway, Coach Miller, drawing a complete blank, and I apologize. Sean Miller's the head coach in Indiana, or the Arizona Wildcats for now. Anyway, Coach Miller, again, talking him into staying in Indiana to play for the Hoosiers. And so I was looking under his names in this. Nope. And Archie Miller. Thank you, Lord. Archie Miller, landing a 5-year star in 12 months on the job, and the competition included at one point this kid was being recruited by Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, UCLA, and others. And Archie Miller, the head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers, said we're going to get him to come to Indiana, and he did. So congratulations to Romeo Langford. Will be playing college basketball for the Indiana Hoosiers. We say good afternoon or good morning to you. We are live here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Again on this Wednesday, we thank you for being with us. And so Food City celebrating its 100th birthday this year in honor of the grocery store chain Centennial, giving away $100,000 to charity. How about that? The CEO of Food City says it's 100 years, $100,000 challenge. Now, here's the cool part. You decide which charity gets the money. Now, this promotion it's divided into 4 sections: Chattanooga, Knoxville, Southeast Kentucky, and of course ours in the Tri-Cities. The one who gets the most votes here in the Tri-Cities gets $12,500 for their charity. The second most votes, second place gets $7,500. Third place gets $5,000. Hello, Gary Taylor, watching, my friend. Thank you. Happy belated birthday to you. You had a birthday on Monday, I believe it was. So happy birthday to our buddy Gary Taylor. Love that guy. He's a great fan of the show and a great supporter of the show. And when he comes on the show, he has a lot of good information when he gets in here and gets a chance to talk. Anyway, you vote. $12,500 for the winner, $7,500 for the second place charity, and $5,000 for the third place charity. There are 10 charities to choose from. You go online, foodcity.com, to do the voting. Vote as often as you like. And here is the 10 charities. The Donna Hope and Johnson City affiliate, Mountain Mission School, Communities and Schools of Southwest Virginia, the Alzheimer's Association of Tennessee. Am I supposed to endorse any of them? I think they're all great. Alzheimer's Association. How many people do I know that are dealing with loved ones that have dementia or Alzheimer's? That would be a good one. They're all good, though. Alzheimer's Association Tennessee, Girls on the Run, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Tennessee, Coalition for Kids, Abuse Alternatives, United Way of Southwest Virginia, and Speedway Children's Charities. All those are great. You vote on your own. FoodCityCharityChallenge.com is the website to go to. FoodCityCharityChallenge.com is the website you go to, and that will be your chance to vote, and that goes through June. So you got another month, well over another month to vote. Or actually through the end of this month, so you got, 28 days, 29 days to vote. And so FoodCityCharityChallenge.com is we want to go to and vote on one of these 10 charities. Hello, Rob Fritz in Elizabethton. Thank you, my friend. So FoodCityCharityChallenge.com. All right, this weekend, whatever they do up there in Kentucky for the Kentucky Derby, I'm not sure that's what they do. That sounds a little wimpy, the horn. Tim, what kind of horn do they do to sound the Kentucky Derby? I don't think. Oh, yes. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Winnipeg Jets, Predators on the ropes are down 2-1 now. They got it done, didn't it, the Jets? You watch any of it? No, he got loose in there. They won 7-4. We'll talk about that in a moment. He don't wear a mask, maybe hit him in the face with the puck, knock him cross-eyed. Because other than that, other than that, he's pretty unstoppable. We'll talk about that coming up in a moment. But anyway, that was pretty wimpy horn to sound the Kentucky Derby I just did. But it's coming up Saturday. How about this? Do you know how many years the Kentucky Derby's been an event? 144-year-old event. I didn't know that. So there you go. There's some trivia for you. The Kentucky Derby, 144 years old. So it runs this Saturday. Again, you know where it's going to be at. What is the Kentucky Derby? The first leg of the Triple Crown of Thoroughbred Racing, followed by the Preakness on May the 19th, and the Belmont Stakes on June the 9th. Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, of course. 20 horses into the Derby this year, one of the largest fields in horse racing to qualify for the Derby. Horses and their jockeys travel on the road to the Kentucky Derby. It is a series of 35 races that features a point system, kind of like NASCAR in a roundabout way. Top 4 finishers of those races earn points, and the top 20 horses of the 35 races earn a spot in the starting post in the Kentucky Derby race. Again, it's going back to 1875. In the first race of the Kentucky Derby, right around 10,000 spectators watched, now as many as over 150,000 packing to Churchill Downs to take in the famous race. The race, this is some cool stuff. The race made its radio broadcast in 1925 that drew about 5 to 6 million listeners. From there, the race made its telecast in 1949. National television coverage in 1952. It's been there ever since. The race has been nicknamed the Run for the Roses. The winner is given a garland of more than 400 red roses sewn together, and that's a tradition dates back to 1932. Interesting stuff. So anyway, Secretariat, the best thoroughbred horse of all time, still holds the Kentucky Derby record at 159.40, set in 1973. And so here's who are some of the odds on here to win this year. The Kentucky Derby on Saturday at Churchill Downs in Louisville. The Bolt d'Oro, Magnum Moon, and Mendelssohn. I always like the name of the horses. Bolt, D-O-R-O, Bolt d'Oro, Magnum Moon, and Mendelssohn open as early co-favorites to win the Kentucky Derby. There is no clear-cut favorite, by the way. So some of the others will be Justify, 3-1 winner, 3-1 odds. Audible, Good Magic. Let's see. Some of the others: Mendelssohn, My Boy Jack, Magnum Moon, Bolt d'Oro. Those are some of the horses that are favored. The Kentucky Derby winning purse, $2 million. The winner takes home an estimated $1.24 million. So if you win the Kentucky Derby, you're $1.24 million richer than you were about 3 or 4 minutes before you did it. Post time coming up on Saturday, 6:34. And so it only lasts about 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes time, you can win yourself, if you win the Kentucky Derby, $1.24 million. How about that? Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City on this Wednesday, May the 2nd, 2018. East Tennessee State has its assignment for the opening round of the NCAA men's tennis tournament. They found they will be playing third-ranked Ohio State coming up Friday a week in Columbus, Ohio. And so one of the toughest teams in the country. 12th straight year East Tennessee State has reached the NCAA tournament after claiming its 12th straight conference title and 4th straight Southern Conference tournament title. I want to gloss over that. It's the 12th straight year East Tennessee State has reached the NCAA tennis tournament after claiming its 12th straight conference title and 4th straight Southern Conference title. Pretty impressive stuff. East Tennessee State and Ohio State square off at the Stickney Tennis Center in Columbus. Time of the match is yet to be determined. They will play it again a week from Friday, on May the 11th. Again, that'll be, as we said, in Columbus, Ohio. We'll take a break. Before we go to the break, I had some folks ask me, let's see if I can find it real quick. They said, you told us the other day what the Tennessee football schedule is. Do you have the Virginia Tech schedule? And I do. If I can find it here. Did I leave it at home? Thought I had it with me. We got the East Tennessee State schedule. I'll give you the Virginia Tech schedule tomorrow. We'll run down the Tennessee schedule coming up here in just a second as well. Tennessee schedule, or East Tennessee State schedule, will be opening things up against Mars Hill. Then they go to Tennessee on September the 8th. Yep, they go to Neyland Stadium to take on the Tennessee Volunteers of Jeremy Pruitt. September the 15th at VMI, back home for 3 in a row. Furman, Chattanooga, and Gardner-Webb for homecoming on October the 6th. Then they go to the Citadel in Charleston, South Carolina. They go to Wofford and Spartanburg, come back home for the final game at home of the regular season against Western Carolina on October the 27th, and wrap things up at Mercer on November the 3rd. So, 5 home games? You have Mars Hill, Furman, Chattanooga, Gardner-Webb, and Western Carolina. The 5 games again for the Buccaneers of Randy Sanders in East Tennessee State. If you're interested in tickets, you can go to etsubucks.com. Get your season tickets for the 2018 college football season for the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State. Now, before we go to the break, I had folks ask me 2 different schedules, and I'm going to take care of these before we go to the break. Of course, Tennessee will be first. They open things up September the 1st against the West Virginia Mountaineers in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tennessee then, as we said, hosting East Tennessee State on September the 8th. Then they have UTEP, Texas El Paso, in Knoxville, September the 15th. Conference opener, the Florida Gators will come your way in K-Town on September the 22nd. They then go to Georgia, the national runner-up, on September the 29th in Athens. Open date, October the 6th. Then in October, they have Auburn at Auburn and Alabama in Knoxville on October the 20th. Of course, the defending national champions, and for all intents and purposes, preseason #1 again already for this coming season. Alabama comes to Knoxville October the 20th. Then the Volunteers go to South Carolina on Halloween weekend. Then they come back November the 3rd to take on Charlotte. November the 10th, take on Kentucky. November the 17th, take on Missouri, all three in Knoxville, then wrap things up at Vanderbilt on Thanksgiving weekend. So, again, West Virginia, neutral site, Charlotte. East Tennessee State, UTEP, Florida in Knoxville. Georgia in Athens. Auburn in Auburn. So, you got back-to-back road games, Georgia and Auburn with a weekend between them. With an open date, but still, you go to Georgia, take a week off, then go to Auburn, then Alabama comes to town. So you have in a row, Florida at home, at Georgia, open date, at Auburn, Alabama at home. Oh, baby. And they say the Southeastern Conference is not the toughest conference in college football. Are you kidding me? I don't care what Big Ten says. I don't care what the Big 12 says. Nobody has this. Florida, Georgia, open date, Auburn, Alabama, South Carolina. Of course, they have Charlotte. South Carolina's in Columbia, Charlotte at home, Kentucky at home, Missouri at home, then at Vanderbilt to wrap up the regular season. That's your Tennessee football schedule. We were asked to give you the Georgia schedule. We can do that. They open up with Austin Peay in Athens. Then they go to South Carolina Conference opener, Middle Tennessee State in Athens, Missouri in Columbia, Tennessee at home, Vanderbilt at home. Then they have LSU at LSU. That's going to be tough. Then they have Florida in Jacksonville, Kentucky in Lexington. They'll play Auburn at home, UMass at home, and Georgia Tech at home. So the Bulldogs' travel games will be at South Carolina, at Missouri, at LSU, at Kentucky, and Florida is the neutral site in Jacksonville. And that's your Georgia football schedule. Some folks asked me, they saw me the other day, said, hey, next time you're on talking college football, give us a rundown of the Georgia Bulldogs. We could do that. We are live here at Chick-Fil-A. The crossing in North Johnson City is a Blue Lizard Day. Absolutely, Blue Lizard. Again, made right here in Johnson City, shipped all over the world under the umbrella of Crown Laboratories. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen is a big 30 plus. SPF going to be outside. The bottle turns blue in UV light. This zinc oxide formula going to be going fishing, swimming. This is water resistant, stays on your body. You don't have to refresh it for 80 minutes. How about that? And that's been tested and retested and tested again. So plenty of samples and testing. So Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen, one of our great sponsors here on the show. Again, we're going to be over there, I think, week after next on the show at Blue Lizard in South Johnson City, made right here, shipped all over the world. Blue Lizard, again, water resistant. This particular, it's called Sport, for 80 minutes. Zinc oxide formula. Fisher persons, swimming persons, whatever you're going to be around the water, you want this on. And it's good for 80 minutes for you to reapply it. That's one. The other is for folks who have sensitive facial skin, is the face, also SPF 30 plus. This is the one a lot of the Fisher people use, because I didn't know this, but Jeff Bedard told me this last year. When you fish, you put something else on besides Blue Lizard. It has a scent to it, and the fish pick up on the scent because it's coming off your hands. And when you put your lure on, and if the fish won't bite. So I don't fish, but that's what he told me, and if he told me, I believe it. And so Blue Lizard, this is fragrance-free, dermatologist recommended. And so when you go fishing, you want to put on Blue Lizard on your face and around your earlobes, the bottom of your ears, where you can get skin cancer. You get your ears burnt. And so that way you don't have to worry about that, because they'll take care of it for you. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen. And again, you have three. And then the other one, of course, for little people. This one is no parabens, no fragrances. This is baby for the little people to put on. How many times have I seen over the last couple of summers kids out in the middle of the day already beat red because there's nothing. You're in a stroller or at whatever event they're after and at, absolutely nothing to protect them from the sun. So that's not what you want. You want the baby, put on the baby. SPF 30 plus, the Sport for you sport people, and then of course if you have sensitive facial skin, you want the face. All three available at any retail location. Again, Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen. The cap turns blue and the bottle turns blue in UV light. So you put this outside, this bottle will turn blue, and that tells you you need blue lizard on a sunny day like today. You better believe it. We're going to be going to a ballpark and watching a game, or a soccer match, or softball, or baseball. You're sitting out there in the sun, baking, sitting in a chair watching a game. You best have some blue lizard on. It's available at all and many retail locations, including one of our great sponsors. That would be the good folks at Max Medismart. Tom Taylor Sports Show. Quick break. We'll be right back. Let's see what's going on with our buddy Phil's Dream Pit. We'll be out there broadcasting live next week, as a matter of fact. Looking forward to being out there. And let's see what he's got to say about what's going on with Phil's Dream Pit. Ate there yesterday, loved it. And see what's happening in Phil's here on show number 739 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Back with my buddy Phil's Dream Pit again, the quest for perfect barbecue. And tell us about, big guy, tell us about the dream packs at Phil's Dream Pit.
So we offer these dream packs that we offer them in equal numbers. So like 4, 8, 12, 20, 24. I mean, we can do them as much as 100 people or more. We've had them go out for 300 people. But the dream packs are, it comes with the pork, the sauce, the buns, and 3 sides. So you could do like beans, potato salad, and coleslaw. The price ends up costing you a little under $7 a person, which is an unbelievable value around here.
Well, obviously spring's right around the corner. You're looking at people on the move, going to ball games and Little League games and just being on the move. So this is a great way to come in and get a dream pack. And or if you got an event in the backyard, a cookout, or whatever you got going on, this is a great way to feed the gang, right?
It is. And another benefit of it is sometimes people are having rehearsal dinners and they'll have volunteers from their church that will serve. So this is a very inexpensive way to hold your costs down for your rehearsal dinner or your wedding. We do offer full service catering. The price goes up a little bit to have our whole crew out there, but you could do the value packs too and have folks from church serve it and cost you under $7 a person.
Let's squeeze in too before I let him go. Meat by the pound. So again, another event coming up that you just want to come out here and buy this great meat by the pound. You do that as well.
I do. We offer the pulled chicken. We offer brisket by the pound, pork by the pound, chicken salad by the pound. The chicken salad, kind of give us a heads up if you're going to want 4 or 5 pounds of that, because we try not to make that much of it at once.
And all this on the website.
And philsdreampit.com.
Yep.
It has our catering menu. It also has our in-house menu and the value packs, and just an awesome deal.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, they're physically located right off Interstate 26, the Eastern Star exit. So Phil's Dream Pit, philsdreampit.com, the quest for perfect barbecue, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. All right, the Tom Taylor Sports Show again, show number 739. We're live here again at Chick-Fil-A, the crossing in North Johnson City. A couple other local sports notes. After a successful conference showing from both the men and the women, the Milligan College cycling team prepares to travel to Grand Junction, Colorado for the USA Cycling Collegiate Road Race National Championships being held Friday through Sunday. And so the Lady Buffs are coming off a Southeastern Collegiate Cycling Conference title. And both the men and the ladies are heading out there to Grand Junction, Colorado for the USA Cycling Collegiate Road Race National Championship. So good luck to the Buffalo cycling team. Also, we were talking about the Kentucky Derby. We just got notice that Justified's made the early 3-1 favorite with Mendelssohn, the second choice in a full field of 20 horses. So trained by 4-time Derby winner Bob Baffert, Justified drew the number 7 post on Tuesday. 6 horses have won from there, most recently Street Sense in 2007. So the Kentucky Derby, the early on favorite is Justified, 3-1 odds to win that thing, coming up again this coming Saturday at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky. NBA last night, the King did it again. LeBron James had a heck of a night. LeBron and the boys again rallied from 14 down to beat the Raptors in overtime. 26 points, 13 assists, 11 boards. J.R. Smith scored 20, and the Cavaliers beat the Raptors 113-112 in overtime in Game 1 of the second-round playoff series. And so they'll play again. When do they play that next round? It'll be tomorrow night. Yep. Also, last night, New Orleans and Golden State played. At one point, it was the Pelicans were leading. I want to double check here real quick and see who won that game. The defending world champion, the Golden State Warriors. Let's see if they won last night. And let's see. Let's go to this website here. We're going to be joined by Greg Salyer coming up here in just a few minutes. Hello to Ricky Walters. Appreciate you, my friend. And let's see here. Let's see if we can find the NBA. See if Golden State won. Hello, Renee McNeil. Golden State won 121 to 116 in the finals. So the Warriors take game one of that best-of-7 series. So Golden State comes back to win that game. Tonight, you've got one, Utah at Houston. Houston leads that series 1-0. They'll play that one in Houston. They played on Sunday, and the Rockets won 110 to 96. That's what's going on in basketball. So LeBron and the boys win last night. They go up in overtime 1-0 in the best-of-7. They'll play tomorrow night, game 2 in Toronto. Obviously, the Raptors need to get one of these two. It's a 2-2, 1-1-1 series format. First 2 in Toronto, second 2 in Cleveland, and they go 1-1-1 for the rest of the best-of-7. Hello, Ricky Walters. Hello to Renee McNeil. So obviously, if you're a Raptors fan, you got to get that one tomorrow night. I don't think you want to go back to Cleveland now 2-0. Tonight, Utah at Houston, the only game on the docket. Again, Houston leads that one, as we said, 1-0. They won on Sunday night 110 to 96. And the National Hockey League, not good news for your Predators fan. They lose last night 7-4 to Winnipeg. In Winnipeg, they lead that series 2-1. Washington skates past the defending Stanley Cup champion, Pittsburgh Penguins 4-3. They lead that series 2-1. Again, they'll play or skate tomorrow night. They'll skate tomorrow night in Winnipeg. Again, the Predators don't want to come back to Nashville down 3-1. I can tell you that. They got to double this thing up tomorrow night. Losing 7-4 last night in Winnipeg. The Predators down again 2-1. Tonight on the ice, Tampa Bay skates in Boston against the Bruins. That series tied at 1 apiece. In Vegas, the Golden Knights in the Shark Tank in San Jose to skate against the Sharks tonight. Their place, the arena is called the Shark Tank, and Vegas will skate there. And that series led by the franchise first year in existence, the Vegas Golden Knights expansion team of the National Hockey League, which obviously makes all the upper echelon of the National Hockey League extremely proud and excited that they put a team in Vegas, and they are up 2-1 in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Vegas Golden Knights will skate tonight in San Jose, leading that series 2-1. Again, we're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We are here broadcasting live every Wednesday. Tomorrow we're going to be at Champion Chevrolet. Friday we'll be in Boones Creek Food City on a Food City Friday. Looking forward to being there. And so hanging out with this big one-day sale they've got coming up from Food City. And it says this right here. It's Stock Your Shelves and Save sale coming up again on Friday. And so we'll have boneless pork. They got the cubes on sale. Hello, Renee. I'm glad you're out of the hospital, dear. Hopefully we'll see you at the church tonight. Pepsi products, 24-pack, 12-ounce cans. It'll be $4.99 on Friday only. You're going to have large white eggs, Grade A Food Club, 18 count, limit 2 to a person for $1.99 on Friday at all Food Cities. Scott paper towel products, $3.99 Friday. 10-pound bag of russet potatoes, $2.99. Food City boneless pork loin, $1.49. These are some of the specials going to be going on. Again, as we said, on this big sale coming up on Friday. Hot dogs on sale. Peanut butter is going to be on sale. Shells and cheddar. Food Club novelty is going to be on sale. All that happening on Friday. We'll talk more about that again when we get closer to the event, which will be Friday. We'll be live again at Food City in Boones Creek. Also, before we go to the break, I want to tell you about an event coming up here on Sunday in Kingsport. It's the Amazing Grace 5K. The event supports Providence Medical Clinic. Again, all proceeds in the race, which now in its 10th year, providing support for Providence Medical Clinic, a faith-based ministry that provides medical services to those in need. And so Allison Jones is the organizer of the event. We'll try and get her on the show tomorrow, see what's going on, because this is through the outreach of First Baptist Church in downtown Kingsport. And so 10 years ago, they raised about $3,500. Through last year's race, they were able to donate over $92,000 to the clinic. This year, they're hoping to go over $100,000. It'll be held May the 6th in downtown Kingsport. That would be on a Sunday, this coming Sunday. Both participants and spectators are welcome. Family fun begins at 4:30 for the cornhole tournament and other games A 1 mile race will be at 5:15, followed by a 5K at 6. Participants can run, walk in one or both races. Awards will be given to the winners if you'd like to be a part of this. Participants can register, let's see, when's the cutoff? $5K is $20. The mile is $15. Both races are $30. And now each race has went up $5 because you're past the April 29th cutoff. So it's going to cost a little bit more, but it's going to be worth it. You can go to the website FBC, which means First Baptist Church, AmazingGrace5K.com. FBC, AmazingGrace5K.com. You're coming up this coming Sunday in downtown Kingsport. Should be a lot of fun and raising a lot of great dollars for an organization helping those less fortunate than you and I in the Tri-Cities. Tom Taylor Sports Show again. We are live at Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City. We'll take a break. We'll come right back, and we're due to be joined, and he's on his way. Our buddy Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball. Lots to talk about. So what's going on right after this timeout? And we'll be right back after you hear this from our great sponsor, Chick-Fil-A, here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-Cities' best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City's huge spring sale is in full swing. We have over 600 new Chevys to choose from with savings up to 20% off MSRP. 17 Silverado 1500 20% off MSRP with over 200 in stock. 17 Silverado HD 13% off MSRP. 2017 Equinox Traxxon Malibu 20% off MSRP. Don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Starting tomorrow, we'll give you a chance to get qualified to win tickets to Dollywood. Oh, yeah. We're going to send you to Dollywood. Our compliments to send you down there for the day. A couple of one-day passes to go to Dollywood and hang out for any time between now and the end of the year. You can use them in the fall, use them now, use them at Christmas time. And so starting tomorrow, we'll give you a chance to get qualified to win tickets to go to Dollywood. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so we're looking forward to doing that for you. Now, I want to tell you before we go to the break again, Greg Salyer will be here in just a second, but I want to. There's one of them Klein girls. Yep. She's in here. Jim Klein from Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, one of his little daughters. All right. Anything that you purchase at the Sprint store, Mother's Day's coming up. Mom needs a new phone, needs some accessories. Any accessory you buy at any Sprint store in the Tri-Cities, you get 25% off when you tell them you heard the show. It's that simple. If it's a case for your phone, an OtterBox case, that fits the Samsung Galaxy, an iPhone 8, iPhone 10. These are between $40 and $60, 25% off right off the top. Our wireless charging stand, not just for mom, but for graduation, for Mother's Day, Father's Day, our wireless charging stand, $70, 25% off. Beats headphones and earbuds for Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduation, 25% off right off the top. Pop sockets, wireless chargers, tablet cases, battery packs, the JBL Flip 4 portable speakers for $99, 25% off. We say you heard the show. It's just that simple. They also have the Urban Armor Gear cases for your phone, any screen protectors with a tempered glass, regular $50, 25% off. You say you heard the show. Just that simple. Any Sprint store in the Tri-Cities. All you have to do is go by and say you heard the show, watch the show, you get 25% off. I know folks have been doing it. Appreciate that very much. And so why would you not? I mean, it's Mother's Day coming up, Father's Day, looking for a good gift. Even something simple as a pop socket in the back of the phone, which is a $10 gift, but it's 25% off. Wireless chargers. I know the wireless charging stand, $70, less 25%. He puts it down to about about 32 bucks, I think, if I'm doing my ciphering right. Beats headphones, $249, 25% off. Earbuds, $149, 25% off at your Sprint store. Again, it's all available again. So again, Mother's Day, graduation, Father's Day. Anybody has a Sprint phone needs an accessory. Any accessories are 25% off. We say you heard the show, and folks have been doing that. We thank you very, very much for being a part of that. Again, tomorrow we'll start qualifying you to win tickets to a couple of day passes to go to Dollywood. We're looking forward to that. That starts tomorrow. We'll roll right into some more race tickets coming up later in the summer for the Thunder Valley Nationals, and also coming up even farther down the road, which is not that far away, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race. Woo-hoo! As the lads in NASCAR this weekend in Dover, Delaware. And we'll talk more about that. The guy that owns the track is Jimmy Johnson, 11-time winner. It is his track. He owns the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. That's where they're racing this weekend for a triple header. The trucks, the Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series. So all that's coming up, and that'll be coming up this weekend. We'll talk more about that as we get a little closer. Joey Logano wins the Talladega, and he goes off the big head of steam, heading off to the obvious. That would be the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. Quick break for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, the Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, two of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Show number 739. Tomorrow, show 740. We will be at Champion Chevrolet. And Friday, show 741. We'll be at Food City in Boones Creek on that big one-day sale we just told you about. So we're looking forward to promoting that for them at Food City in Boones Creek. We got Major League Baseball and a lot to talk about. Greg Salyer joins us coming up next, our Major League Baseball guru, here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. No, that's not me. Joe Vento joins us coming up at the bottom of the hour, and we are here ready to go. And there he is, our buddy Greg Salyer from the Major League Baseball update. You see here on the screen. Good afternoon, my good friend. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, Tom. How are you?
Is it not a beautiful day in the neighborhood?
It is absolutely gorgeous outside today.
It is a blue lizard day right there. Again, water resistant for 80 minutes. Again, this is the SPF 30 Plus zinc oxide formula. Bottle turns blue, UV light. Dermatologist recommended, gotta have it. If you're going to be outside fishing, hunting, mowing the yard, watching a softball game, playing softball, playing golf, earlobes, ears, nose, face, which you're not going to be wearing a hat, certainly on your hat, on your head rather, but again, and that is for the face. This is something I learned about this right here. Jeff Bedard told me this, the owner of Blue Lizard. This one has no fragrance. So when guys go fishing, if they use something else, and they put it on their face and their hands, and they put the lure on,
Fish will smell it.
Fish smells the scent and won't take a bite. But
Wow.
this is fragrance free. I
Wow.
don't fish, so there you go.
Yeah.
Learn something new. What?
The skeeters.
Keep the skeeters off. Birchfield's on a roll today. Keep the skeeters off of it. This is for the face, and this is for babies. SPF 30 Plus. No parabens, no fragrances. Why in the world would you not have a child slathered up with Blue Lizard? I was saying earlier how many times I've been out to an event, seen a kid in the middle of the day, it's already pink, so you know that night they're going to be beat red. Pushing the stroller, the parents or whoever's putting with no sun protection, I just want to go.
Yes.
That's how you get skin cancer. I've read this more. I'm going to get Jeff on to talk about this. The more times you get burned as a child, you may not know it then, but as you get older, it triggers your skin, and that's what triggers the skin cancer. And I'm not a doctor, but that's, I don't know if trigger's the right word, but it gets it going. And is that the right word? Exposes it? Maybe not. What's the best word? When you get burned many times as a kid, it helps to accelerate.
Yeah, accelerate. That's
accelerate
a good word.
Skin cancer.
Yeah. This is good stuff. We use this as well. So
that's all I use.
Yeah, you may,
love it.
You may only have 2 bottles of that when I walk away.
Okay. I'm about to make a transaction here.
Just kidding.
So here we go. We got Major League Baseball. Where in the world will we start? Let's run down the scores. Let's start with Daniel Norris, who got hurt. He's out 8 to 12 weeks. Scores from yesterday: Cleveland beat Texas 7-5. Boston over Kansas. No, I'm reading Mondays. I'm sorry. Let's start with Tuesdays. Texas beat Cleveland 8-6 and 12. Detroit beat Tampa Bay 2-1. Kansas City beat Boston in Fenway 7-6 and 13. Horace is watching. Say hello to Horace, would you please?
Hey, Horace.
Oh yeah.
Trip.
Oh, his name's Trip?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a story.
There's a story.
I'm ready. Go ahead.
All right. So our softball team, we got new jerseys this year, and he asked for 00. Well, they put 3 zeros on it, and he's the only one on the team that got a name on their jersey, and the name is Trip. Last year between first and second, he tripped, and actually, I think he did kind of hurt himself as he did it. But
he's back this year. He told me last year
he is coaching first base. He came in with jeans on, no cleats. He came in to coach first base. My plan was to coach third base,
right? And
because of 2 pulled hamstrings, I ended up playing in the first game and then the whole second game Monday night. So
you don't have the hamstring pull; somebody else does.
Somebody else does, yeah. But yeah, 2 hamstring pulls, and I ended up playing. And
so Horace shows up in jeans and flip flops and a straw hat. And he's got him.
And his jersey with 3 zeros on it and the name Trip on the back. Sorry, Jim.
I'm so embarrassed for him. Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Well, I don't know if he was proud of it or ashamed of it, but he was showing everybody at church when he got the jersey. So he was making sure everybody saw it.
He marches a different drum beat. He don't care. He's a different bird. We love that guy.
Oh,
anyway, Kansas City Ball. 000 Trip. Oh, Lordy. That's going to be every day we'll say hello to Trip.
I'm going to hear about this tonight, I know.
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. It is what it is. Yankees beat Houston 4-0. Verlander, I don't know what happened last night, but Yankees got him 4-0. Toronto over Minnesota 7-4 and 10. Cardinals beat the White Sox 3-2. Don't look now, but here comes St. Louis. Baltimore and the Angels. Angels win 3-2. And then Oakland and Seattle. Seattle doubles them up 6-3 over the Oakland A's. That's the American League. In the National League, Washington all over Pittsburgh 12-4. Atlanta beat the Mets 3-2. Don't look now, but the Braves are a half game out of first place. Miami over Philadelphia 2-1 and 10. Milwaukee beat the Reds 7-6. Anything else? Anything new on that one?
Another one game, one run loss. Another one.
It is Colorado 3-1 over the Cubbies. Dodgers last night at Arizona. Kershaw started. Obviously didn't do well. Arizona got them 4-3, and then San Diego beat San Francisco 3-2. That is the results from last night. Quick look at the schedule today. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 games, day games. Kansas City at Boston at Fenway. Tampa Bay at Detroit. Texas at Cleveland. Toronto the Blue Jays in Minnesota this afternoon. White Sox at St. Louis this afternoon at Busch Stadium. Tonight under the lights, Yankees at Houston. Dallas Keuchel on the mound for the Astros. Baltimore against the Angels in L.A. and Oakland at Seattle. We'll get an update on Pujols. He needed 4 hits to get 3,000. I don't know if he got any last night or not. We'll have to double check. Day games in the National League. White Sox and St. Louis interleague play. Colorado against the Cubbies. Yu Darvish on the mound for Chicago. San Diego at San Francisco, a day game. Under the lights tonight, Pirates in Washington, Atlanta, New York, Milwaukee and Cincinnati. You've got Castillo on the mound for the Redlegs, Philadelphia, Miami, and the Dodgers at Arizona. That's your Major League Baseball schedule. So where do we start? Let's start.
You
throw out names. Corey Seager.
Corey Seager. Oh, wow. I hate to start there. You know, you always hate to see anyone with an injury, especially an injury that could potentially keep him out until this time next year. Fortunately, he's not a pitcher, but Tommy John surgery for another middle infielder. So Zach Cozart was one of the first that I knew of that had that. A weird play at second base that caused that, and now Corey Seager also is going to be out perhaps even a year with Tommy John surgery.
Dodgers are, man, they're hurt.
I'll tell you, they lost Justin Turner right there at the end of spring training, and I knew that was a blow for them. Puig's not been well. Now they lose Seager. This is a big blow for the Dodgers, and they are not playing all that great. They're 12 and 17. 9 games back, lost 4 in a row. And let's talk about Kershaw while we're talking about the Dodgers too. If I'm going to have one game that I need to win, and I had 3 pitchers that I could choose from, Kershaw would be my number 3 pitcher there. I would pick Max Scherzer first. I'd probably pick Corey Kluber second, and then Kershaw would be my number 3 choice out of all the pitchers in Major League Baseball. But yet, the Dodgers, even when he's turning in a good game, they're not winning the games he starts. And he's the guy that they need to win his starts. Even if he doesn't get the win, they have to know that, hey, we have a good chance when he's on the mound, and they need to go out and put up some runs for him and win on the days he starts.
Talking to our buddy Greg Seiger talking Major League Baseball. Just checked the temperature. It's 76 degrees, man. Spring has sprung. A beautiful day here in the neighborhood. It's going to be in the low 80s and great weather until Saturday. Got some rain coming back in here, but 76 degrees. Great night for baseball. We'll talk about that. Who's playing locally in high school baseball and softball coming up here in a little while. So you've got the Dodgers on the shelf right now. A couple of guys banged up. You look at the standings. Boston with a 2-game lead over the Yankees. Yanks go into Houston, lose on Monday 2-1. We came back last night and shut them out 4-0. Verlander started that game. I don't know, to shut the Astros out with Verlander on the mound, what happened?
Yeah, what happened? Verlander pitched 8 shutout innings, 14 strikeouts in that game, but bullpen gave it up, 4 runs in the ninth.
In the ninth inning.
Yeah.
So Verlander goes 8 shutouts, struck out 14, hands over the bullpen, and it collapses.
Yeah.
You got a
three-run home run, and
so as a competitor, and you are, and I am too, so you would probably just kind of you give him 14 strikeouts and 8 shutout innings and lose the game?
Yeah.
I would think you'd be a little mad, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't get the loss, but, you got to be upset with that, because, but he wasn't probably as upset as Ken Giles, who gave up the runs, who literally punched himself in the face walking off the field last night, walking in the dugout. So I don't think I'd ever seen that. Well, maybe I had seen somebody punch themselves in the face before.
He hit himself in the
face.
He
hit himself in the face with his fist. Yeah, it was. If you haven't seen it, Google it. You'll see it. It's out there, and it's comical to watch. But
this is a grown man.
Grown man as he's walking into the dugout, and then they had to put the little fuzzy thing over his mouth as he's walking through the dugout because they didn't want you to be able to read his lips and see what he was saying.
Letting him rip, huh?
Yeah, he was. So, but let's face it. He had to face Gregorius, Judge, and then Sanchez was the one that hit the 3-run homer off of him, and they end up scoring 4 runs, but it was that 3-run home run that was the difference.
We're talking to our buddy Greg Salyer. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the crossing of North Johnson City. Lunchtime is here, to say the least. It's hopping in here, but it's
really hopping.
I can see the drive-through too hopping coming up the street, and so they are having a big time here. There's room for you, of course, because they get you in, get you out, and get you on down the trail pretty quickly. So in the standings, Boston 2 games better than the Yankees, are 19-10. Red Sox are 21-8, had a phenomenal, I think the best April they had maybe ever, or certainly in many, many years. Red Sox, again, the cream of the crop right now, the best team in Major League Baseball, just a little bit better than a surprise team we'll talk about in a moment, Arizona. Again, in the American League, Boston 2 games better than New York, Toronto 4 back, Orioles in the cellar at 8-20. In the Central Division, Cleveland leads Detroit by 3, Minnesota by 4.5, Kansas City in the cellar. Any surprises in the East right now or the Central Division?
Well, I think this is almost how I
predicted it.
How I predicted it, except for Minnesota. I thought Minnesota would be better than Detroit, and they still may be when they're only a game and a half behind Detroit. But Minnesota's 1-9 over their last 10 games, and I think they're a better team than that. I think they're going to show us that a little bit later. Boston's come back down to earth just a little bit, 4-6 over their last 10 games after that tremendous start that they had. And, of course, the Yankees are 9-1 over their last 10 games, which means they're now only 2 games behind Boston. So that's Yankees and Red Sox race. That's going to be a good one to watch, I think, all summer. Toronto's 4 back. And I don't see anybody else really making a move to get into that thing. They're all still in it, but I think that's the 2 teams we're going to be watching in the East, Boston and the Yankees.
As we said at the outset of the visit, Daniel Norris on the shelf for 8 to 12 weeks now. Groin injury of major proportions, so he's out. He's been so injury prone. I don't know at what point does Detroit, and I hope they don't, but at what point do they assess this and go, look, this guy stays injury prone. When we do have him back, he got shelled out there the other day. Unfortunately, did not have a good outing at all before he got hurt. And maybe that's why he didn't have a good outing, because he was hurt, obviously. But hello, Betty Perry, watching, dear. Thank you. But again, they're 12-16. They're in second place, under 500, but 3 games out of the Central Division. If you're Tiger management, what do you do with this guy when he comes back? You got some decisions to make, don't you?
You do. You've got to decide. Are we going to keep him in the rotation, or are we going to put him in the bullpen? What are we going to do? A groin injury is terrible.
Yes.
I've had one of those one time, and it was just a nagging thing. It's like I couldn't get over it. You think you're better, and then you just move a little bit, and there it is again. It's a horrible injury, especially for a pitcher. And just hope that he can get through that. And I think he's got another start or 2 left in him before they make a decision to put him in the bullpen. But that might be where he's headed.
8 to 12 weeks puts him back in your around the 4th of July.
Yeah. So that's and I would like to think he would get another start. I'd like to think they'd put him back in and let him get one more start before they would make a decision.
We're talking to Greg Salyer, talking Major League Baseball. Joe Avento rolled in here. He's going to join us coming up next year in the Tom Dillon Sports Show. We're live at Chick-Fil-A tomorrow. Champion Chevrolet got a full show tomorrow, and also got a full show on Friday at Food City in Boones Creek. And so we will look forward to talking about a lot of different guests then. Baseball, our next baseball broadcast comes Friday night. Airtime at 4:30, first pitch at 5 o'clock. Elizabethton takes on the winner of the Happy Valley Johnson County play-in game. They'll do that tomorrow night. We'll play that winner the opening round of the District 1 AA baseball tournament at TVA Credit Union Ballpark here in Johnson City. In the West, you have Charlie Morton. You have Justin Verlander. Today it's Dallas Keuchel. 4-man rotation. I can't remember who the 4th guy is. It's an obvious that I'm not remembering. You have Keuchel, Verlander, Charlie Morton.
McCullers,
Lance McCullers.
Yeah.
So Houston 2 better than Seattle, and there's the Angels hanging around at 16-12. Pujols 29-96 going into last night's game as far as the number of hits. And we're not really surprised Houston's where they are right now, are we?
No, not at all. Not at all. That's exactly where I thought Houston would be. I really thought that, and this may still happen. I think Houston's still the best team in the American League. I think the Angels are going to make another move. I don't know if they're going to finish in third place or not. I think they may be a wild card team, and I could see them in second place in that division, maybe even winning it. I mean, they could even do that. I don't know, but Seattle's a little bit of a surprise. They're 7-3 over their last 10 games. They've moved ahead of the Angels, and part of the reason for that is Mitch Haniger. I mean, this kid is knocking the cover off the ball. He's hit 10 home runs. I don't know if he hit one last night or not, but he's hit 10 home runs, and just showing some phenomenal power. He's the best player, I think, right now. Or he's putting up the best numbers of any player in baseball that nobody's talking about.
We're talking to Greg Salyer. We are live again here at Chick-Fil The Crossings, North Johnson City. Joe Vento joins us coming up in a few minutes. Let's take a look at the National League. In the East, New York. This is kind of the X Factor division for me. New York, a half game better than the Braves. Philadelphia, 2 back, and the team we all thought, and they may probably be there when it's all said and done, but right now they are 4.5 under. They're 14-16. We're talking about the Washington Nationals.
Yeah. Here's the interesting thing. Bryce Harper led off for them yesterday, which I thought was an interesting move. And part of the reason he may be leading off is his on-base percentage is through the roof. And he's walking more this year than he has before. The problem with that is I'm afraid if Bryce Harper walks, the Nationals lose. They want him to swing the bat. That's the thing you hear with Joey Votto so much. Well, he takes too many walks. I understand that, but Joey Votto's not going to swing at bad pitches. Bryce Harper's decided now he's not going to swing at bad pitches. And he's walking a lot, so they've moved him to the leadoff spot. We'll see what happens with that. I still think Washington's the team to beat in that division. Scherzer was phenomenal yesterday. I didn't see the game, but I saw the highlights of the game, and he was Max Scherzer, and that's just the best way to put it. And I think the Nationals are they're not going to finish in fourth place in that division.
Are the Braves riding on smoke and mirrors and fumes? They won't come back down to earth today, the deal.
The Braves, they've got these young kids that don't know they're not supposed to win.
Exactly.
And that's okay. Keep it that way. Don't tell them. And let's see what happens. This Ronald Acuna is the real deal. Ozzie Albies, I'm sold on that kid. He is going to be phenomenal for years to come. Johan Camargo, another guy that they've got who's right there in that same place, came up through the minors with those other two guys. It reminds me of the Braves back in the day when Brian McCann and Jeff Francoeur and some of those guys came up and just really couldn't even believe they were, first of all, playing in the major leagues, yet alone able to win in the major leagues, and they did it. So that's what I'm seeing with the Braves again, and I'm excited for them. I think they need some pitching. I think they're still a pitcher or two away from really challenging to win the whole thing this year. But hey, they're 17-11. They're half game back, and I don't think anybody would have thought the Braves would be there at this point in time of the season.
Put them in a sack and shake them up. Central Division, Chicago, Milwaukee tied for first. Cardinals a half game back. Pirates half game back. It's a wide open race. Of course, the Reds are in the cellar, which is where they're probably going to stay, unfortunately. Central Division, Cubs, Milwaukee, Cardinals, Pirates. Right now at this point, and we're into, 27, 28, 29 games so far in the regular season. Long season. Right now, it's anybody's division, obviously.
It is. It really is. Pittsburgh, I think, is better than anybody thought they were going to be. Milwaukee is doing about what everybody thought they would do with the moves they went out and made. They're good. And the Cubs, they're trying to show that yet once again they're going to be the team to beat in the Central Division. So, that's going to be a great race, I think, all the way to the end of the wire this year. We may come up to the very end of September not knowing who's going to win the Central Division. So that's always great.
And in the West, of course, Arizona, San Francisco. Arizona 5.5 better than San Francisco and Colorado. The Dodgers 12-17 after last night's loss, 8.5 back, and so Dodgers just kind of struggling, to say the least, but you got to feel like they're going to catch fire. But a lot of injuries for the Dodgers, and the defending National League champion, of course. So, surprised Arizona's up there, the second best team in baseball at 20-8.
Yeah, I didn't see them winning like this. I mean, I thought they were going to be good. I picked them second in that division behind the Dodgers. A.J. Pollock is just on fire right now. I think he's hit 10 home runs this year as well. A guy that's not really as known for his power as for his average and on-base percentage, but yet he's put up some power numbers this year. The guy's a great defensive center fielder. I've been singing his praises for years, and now he's really showing what he can do. And I think he's one of the reasons that the Diamondbacks are where they are. Of course, they have pretty good pitching too, and you have to have pitching to go 21-8 to start the season, and that's what they've done. So I think they're a team to be reckoned with. I think if the Dodgers don't make a move quickly to try to catch them, they're 9 back. You can make up a 9-game difference in 9 days, but that doesn't typically happen. So I think they're going to have to get on the stick, pick up a game a week for a while if they can, and see what happens.
He doesn't look it, but he's a father of an 18-year-old now. Hannah Banana Salyer had her birthday yesterday, is that right?
Yes, sir, yesterday.
So happy birthday to Hannah Banana. He doesn't look like he would be a father of an 18-year-old, nor does his wife, but they are proud parents of an 18-year-old. And what'd she say? What was it? She flipped her out. She's been going to the doctor, obviously, and so now he found out.
Yeah, we got to.
They don't have access to her records anymore since she's turned 18. It's like, really? So, welcome to adulthood. So there you go.
Yeah.
Mama wasn't too happy about that, was she?
No, it struck her a little bit hard, when she saw it. So.
And it's like we've hit a milestone. Our little baby's turned 18.
Yeah.
Rebecca's 14,
15, and Abigail's 12, and yeah, and Hannah's the shortest one of the 3.
There you go.
So
get your shotgun. You've got 3 beautiful young daughters, so young ladies. But happy birthday to Hannah Banana. So, anything you want to leave us with in the world of Major League Baseball?
Well, let's talk about the Brewers for just a second. They've been playing the Reds, and so I've watched some of the games a little bit more so than I normally would have, and I'll tell you, the Brewers are looking like the real deal. I think they're going to give the Cubs a real run for their money this year. Excited about that. I want to see a good race in all these divisions. I really don't like to see it when a team runs away with it. Like the 75 Reds. They were 20 games ahead of the Dodgers, and it was over. Second week or first week, I guess, in September that they had clinched. And I want to see a good division race. I want to see every one of these 6 divisions have a good race. And really, I think that's what we're going to see. In the Central, there's 4 teams there that are still in it. Unfortunately, my team isn't one of them. But, you never know what's going to happen. They could go on a huge winning streak and pull something out. You never know. I mean, anybody can beat anybody, it seems, now in baseball.
On any given day. You're exactly right. You hungry?
Yes, sir. Always.
All right. Back here next Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
Good job. Happy birthday to your daughter.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's a class young lady and comes from good stock, obviously. Greg and Mrs. Greg Salyer. There you go. Quick break. We'll be right back. Joe Vento joins us coming up next. He'll talk about, I'm sure, the evil empire, his beloved New York Yankees, among other things, including ETSU football and basketball. Joe Vento joins us next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's chicken minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini-series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
We're back with the Tom Baylor Sports Show. There he is, our buddy Joe Venta, the sports director of the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News, and you chased a little white ball this morning. How'd you do?
No, I didn't do it. No,
you didn't do it.
No,
you instead.
We talked about it. Yeah.
Bless his
Maybe
heart,
tomorrow.
he did it. Thank you very, very much. So you gonna chase it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm about to show my ignorance. I know nothing about golf. So if you said you're a scratch golfer or you're a great golfer, what do you normally hit?
I'm about a 6 handicap. Means I shoot between 78 and 80.
I don't know what that means. That means good.
Better than average, but I'm not quitting my job.
There you go.
Which is every time they announce on TV how much somebody's made in a tournament, my wife always says, "Why aren't you doing that?" And I said, because there's a certain amount of skill that's required, and I like to tell people about my golf game that I am a self-taught player with a very poor teacher. So.
I love this guy. By the way, Greg needs to go to the batting cage. Horace, he said he will be going to the batting cage tonight, take some swings. Apparently he's a little rusty. The old rusty gate. Preston the service in the church softball league game last night. Good stuff. So we're here live at Chick-fil-A talking to my man Joe Vento. So, of course, he covers the Buccaneers for both the Johnson City Press and the Kingsport Times News. So we got basketball. We talked earlier about tennis. Let's start with hoops. Got another assignee, is that right?
Yeah, they did. They signed Isaiah Tisdale, and I think he was ranked as the 15th best junior college player in the country last year. 6'1", 6'2" guard who, just looks like he can shoot the lights out. And as everybody knows, based on last year's team, that was the one thing that they really needed some help on. It was times last year where they were below 30% on three-pointers. They finished a little better than that because they had a strong finish, but that was their Achilles, really. And if they can shore that up, they have a lot of pieces coming back. I think they're going to be quite a bit better. Plus, don't forget about Patrick Good from Crockett. Got to always mention him.
Yeah, he sit out a year and he's ready to go now.
And he lit it up at Appalachian State for a while with threes. He made an awful lot of threes his freshman year.
So, the player of the year in the Southern Conference, Bradford.
Yep.
Think he'll get a look at the NBA? Do you think he can play in the NBA? Let me ask you that.
Nah, not if the guys previous to him in that role could not. I don't think so. I think he's
overseas.
Yep, but I think he'll have a great career as long as he wants to over there. He's a smooth player. He's a big point guard, and I don't think he had the killer instinct enough to play in the NBA. He was kind of a laid back kind of player. He was a great player. Don't get me wrong, and he deserved to be Player of the Year. He was ranked in the top 10 in the conference in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, just about everything, every stat there was.
Pretty solid player, but again, we'll see if he can hook on with somebody in Europe, overseas.
Oh, he will. There's no doubt about that. But Forbes' connections run deep in that way. He got the last 2 years. He's got just a whole bunch of players playing over there and doing well. Isaac Banks. How quickly we forget.
Yes.
He was just a role player at ETSU, and he's averaging over 20 points a game in England. So that just show you how much talent they have over here.
We're talking to our buddy, again, you see on the screen, Joe Vento, the sports director of the Kingsport Times-News, Johnson City Press. So has he made out his schedule yet? Have you seen the basketball schedule?
He has not. Nope.
He's in a tough spot.
He constantly complains that nobody wants to play.
That's what I'm saying. They've reached the threshold that you're not a patsy anymore, and so the big boys don't want to, they want somebody they can get an easy W to build their strength, their RPI, and so the Bucks are good enough now that the big boys don't want to play him.
And he'll get a few. He'll get them somehow. But it's not very easy. And last year, I kept pressing him. When's it going to come out? And he kind of let me take a glance at a board in his office of what was coming up, but it wasn't done yet. And I don't really anticipate them announcing that until maybe June.
Still trying to put the pieces together. We're talking to our buddy Joe Vento. So tennis heads off to Columbus next weekend.
Columbus. Now, it is a funny story about that. Back when Yasser Zattini was coaching, they'd been assigned to Columbus a couple times, and maybe a third time they got assigned there. I forget the exact number, but I was interviewing him after the selection, and he said this comment, and he knew I was interviewing him, so there was no off the record. But he just said, "I hate Columbus," and he didn't really mean he hated the place. He hated the choice of Columbus because they just kept going there. And Ohio State's always one of the top teams. So when you're going up there, you're getting beat too. But he heard about that. That quote got around, and he said he got emails from ladies in Columbus, not very happy with what he had to say about their town. So for years after that, we always joked every time they'd have a selection, let's hope it's not Columbus. And here he's gone, and they got Columbus. So I was actually in contact with him last night. We were making light about the fact that they were going to Columbus.
They are the number 3 seed, by the way, the Buckeye team, and they'll play that up at the, I think it's called the Stickney Center, if I'm not mistaken, in your article. Again, we're talking to Joe Vento. But you talk dynasties in sports.
Oh, my gosh.
And I had it earlier in the show that 12th straight NCAA appearance, 12th straight, the 4th straight conference.
Well,
He won 12 in a row, 4 straight in the Southern Conference.
Southern Conference, yeah.
Is that not a dynasty by definition?
It's unbelievable. Yeah. It's gotten to the point where when it ends, it's going to be bigger news than if it continues. Exactly. It's really amazing, and they've literally done it now with 3 different coaches. Because last year, Yasser's assistant filled in and kept it going, and this year they have a new coach, Martin, and it's amazing. It's not that easy. They're making it look easy, but like the old football coach Don Riley said, it's hard to win.
It's hard to win.
And boy, he proved
he's living proof of that. Yeah, that's good. We're talking to our buddy Joe Vento. Love this guy. Now they told me to be sure and thank you, Mike Gons and Bobby Dick and the guys, the National Football Foundation. You had an incredible, very, very good article promoting these kids as scholarship dollars at the banquet on Saturday morning, the National Football Foundation, and they honored Graham Clark and Robbie Norris and Carl Torbush, 3 coaches retired, and doled out over almost $4,000 in scholarship money, and your write-up was very, very good. And they want me to thank you.
Well, they sent me an email too, Bobby. He always lets me know when that's coming, and honestly, one of the reasons we can cover it so well is that it's a very convenient time. Rarely is anything going on at 9:30 on a Saturday morning. A couple of times they had it the same day as ETSU's spring game, so that was tough. But no, it's a great event. It's a great organization, and without calling out any schools by name, you'll notice that some of the bigger schools were not represented there. And I asked, how come these schools aren't represented? It's because they don't join. Those schools have to join that organization. It's not expensive. And if you don't join, your kids aren't going to go get the scholarships. So I would encourage any of the schools that don't participate in that to find out how to join and go about doing it, because it's completely up to the school. And the schools that don't do it, it's hurting the kids.
Well, I know 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, Science Hill's kid that won the scholarship, they take, the winner of this one will springboard into a national competition of sorts.
They didn't send him.
Really big scholarship. And this kid from Science Hill, I can't remember his name, 2 or 3 years ago, got, I think, one of the semifinals of the whole kit and caboodle from the National Football Foundation. The national, he'd have won, $30,000 or $40,000 scholarship. So it pays to get involved if you're a school.
Yeah.
They had 8 or 9 schools there, and of course, they're trying to get more. And you're right. What's the price to be a part of this is, I think, for all intents and purposes, fairly minimal.
And I think I heard you say if you sign a team up for the golf tournament from the school, you're in. So that's all you got to do. Yeah. It's really nothing.
Yeah, and we're going to start promoting the golf tournament. It's going to be at Crockett's Ridge next month. We're going to tell you more about that. This is the National Football Foundation. We are talking to our buddy Joe Vento. So you've been out and about. You had a great article again yesterday covering the Science Hill Hilltoppers. We covered them for the Elizabethton Cyclones, and we ran into a buzzsaw. Elizabeth made some unforced errors early on, but it was Science Hill 10-0. They're the real deal. They can play.
Well, they get on a roll. It seems like one inning every game. They get on a roll where you can't get them out. But what was interesting about that game last night was Science Hill made just as many errors, but every time they got into position, they made the play to get out of the inning. Whereas when Elizabethton made errors, Science Hill get a hit. And I think Elizabethton was one hit away from making that a really competitive game. So to me, that was a lot closer than a 10-0 game. I felt bad for the Elizabethton starting pitcher who gave him 5 unearned runs. He wasn't getting a whole lot of help by his defense.
The play of the game, and you called on the paper, Evan Carter hits this rope to Matthew Levi at first, catches he reaches out and makes a great defensive play. Steps on the bag, double play ball.
It was probably the easiest spectacular play you ever see, because he was just standing there holding the runner on first. The ball was hit to him. He didn't have to move a muscle, and he was already on the bag. It happened so quick. We all said, "What happened?" And then we realized what happened, and it was runners on first and third with nobody out at that point. So, by the way, I left my phone charger in the dugout yesterday, so this morning the Johnson City Cardinals management is scrambling around looking for it for me. So if anybody found my phone charger at Carlton Park,
at TVA Credit Union, man, that ballpark's beautiful too. They of course put the artificial in the infield. The outfield's still grass, but they're going to.
The new seats are going in May 24th.
Oh yeah.
I talked to them this morning.
Primo place.
New box seats, and it's no surprise that park was voted the top park in rookie baseball last year. And a lot of it is the actual park, but a lot of it is the entire atmosphere for the fans that the Cardinals have created. It's a real event. It's a fun event, and it might just be perception more than reality, but I think the games the last 2 years have gotten a little bit quicker. It wasn't unusual for Happy League games to go 3.5 hours, but I can tell because we have a 10 o'clock deadline, and these games start at 7, and we're getting them in the paper, so they're taking less than 3 hours on the average. Now, we pay a lot of attention to that kind of stuff when we're dealing with deadlines.
Absolutely. And so, great ballpark. Hello, Gary Taylor watching, and Jerry Keller, and of course Greg Sauer's watching. Wherever he's at eating lunch, so he's back there watching. And so we appreciate the folks giving us a watch and listen, like us, and share the show.
We got somebody else watching over here.
That be the boy?
Dom Avento.
Dom Avento.
Dom Avento is.
You can't deny that one, Chief. He looks just like you.
Dom turned his last paper for college in last night. He is now officially 100% done with college at ETSU. He's going to graduate this week.
Free bird. Now what? Go out and get a JOB?
Yeah, he's got one, but he's going to look for a real career kind of thing.
At the urging of his father and his mother, we would love to see you get a job, son.
Oh, he's very motivated.
Yes.
He made it. He's going to make it through college in 4 years debt free. So that's great.
Well, it is awesome.
Yep.
Good job. You're proud of him too, as well.
Very
You should
proud.
be.
Yep.
We're talking to my man again, Joe Vento. So you've been out watching baseball. You've been out covering softball for the papers. So obviously Science Hill 29-6. I put the monkey on the back last night in the broadcast. I said if they don't make it to the state tournament, it's going to be an underachieving year because they're loaded. I know things can happen along the way, but they've got up to me what I watched last night. They got all the pieces to have a great run this year in postseason.
Well, and they'll probably say the same thing if they don't make it to state. It'll be disappointing because they are loaded, and they're loaded for this season. Because I was at Senior Day the other day, and they announced so many seniors. Somebody said they better start recruiting for next year. They got 12 seniors on that team, and you didn't even get to see the top end of the pitching staff last night. They have they pitched a couple of shutouts in a row without using their ace. Feathers is really a good pitcher. So yeah, they look good. They seem to have every piece you need. They got speed at the top of the lineup like you wouldn't believe. I asked somebody how many stolen bases Ben Grable has, and they said, well, it's got to be 20-something. And I said, well, I've seen 4 games, and I've seen him have 7. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's got 30 or 40 this year.
And you look at another team I want to call out, too. The team that's really turned around. First-year coach Nick Lingerfeld down at Crockett.
Unbelievable.
They've taken some lumps early, but they just picked up their 9th win yesterday. And you say, well, you're 9-21, Tom. It's not very good. But,
no,
but look where they are and look where the progress they've made.
And they went through a string where they lost 4 out of 5 games by 1 run, including 1-0 to Dobbins Bennett. I saw them lose 3-2 to Boone. They're actually a threat in the postseason now. And he hung in there. He kept saying they were 1 or 2 at bats away from breaking open some of these games, and it was true. And they're starting to come out on the winning end.
AAA schedule, by the way, that's in your local Johnson City Press and Kingsport Times News, of course, which we use this as I got to toot his horn a little bit. You can see me highlighting most of the stuff, and this is a great reference point for my show, is what I get from these guys and his great staff here. And so you look and see the AAA tournament starts Friday at J. Fred. It's Dobbins Bennett Cherokee, which is a dangerous game for DB. This Collins kid can really cause problems for Cherokee. They'll play that one at 3. Tennessee High Volunteer at 5:30, and then, as you mentioned, Boone and Crockett at 8 o'clock. And so Boone better be ready because Crockett, there again, when you're in you go into the tournament at 9-21, you have nothing to lose, everything to gain. So that could be a dangerous game for those two. Then Science Hill plays the winner of the DB Cherokee game on Saturday morning. So that could be dangerous too.
Science Hill jumps right in, and I mean, just going by the numbers, you would think it'll be DB, but like you said, a hot pitcher could really change baseball quite a bit. So they just don't know where it's going to be.
That first game of the tournaments, it's a 1-game season. Elizabethton plays 5 o'clock Friday at TVA Credit Union Ballpark. The playing game tomorrow night between Johnson County and Happy Valley. That winner plays Elizabethton at 5. It's always a fun time of year because of the tournament play, and so they've already started monkeying with the schedule because a lot of these schools have prom on Saturday. So if Elizabethton wins Friday night, they play Saturday at noon. So the boys can go home, get cleaned up, put on the smelly, put on the tux, and get ready to take the young lassie to the prom. So there you go.
Well, you say it's a fun time of year. It's the time of year we start pulling our hair out of our head.
I would think so.
Next, just looking ahead, next Thursday, I've worked out the schedule for next week. We're covering 11 different high school tournaments in one day. Counting tennis, softball, soccer, baseball. You got 3 classes. It is unbelievable what we're going to try to do next Thursday for Friday's paper. You won't see it all in the paper. You'll see it all online. But there's not enough trees in Washington County to print that many tournaments in one day. So.
Oh, yeah. And of course, the added caveat, I just checked the weather forecast before I came on the show. It's supposed to rain on Saturday, so that's not going to be good.
When I sent out the schedule, I said 1 drop of rain, and we're all messed up.
It's going to put everything back behind us. Let's look at it real quick before I make sure I don't overstep myself. We're talking to Joe Vento. We're live here again as we are, we're here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Let's see what we got for daily here. Yep, Saturday, 70% chance of rain. There you go. Yeah. As Ricky Ricardo used to say, yeah. So, anyway, we'll play them when we can play them. I know we got games on Friday night, some are on Thursday, and then we'll even have to play on Sundays, which I don't particularly agree with, but you got to do it, I guess. You have to do it on the Sabbath, but it is what it is. But anyway, all the coverage you want, we'll keep you posted every day on this show. But from the print standpoint, you want to go to the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. You made a good point, too. Not everything that you read about, that you cover, makes it into the paper, but it is online.
Well,
most of it is.
99.9% gets in the paper. But next Thursday, I just don't think there's any way. But those games will all be accounted for. What we'll do is we'll take what might be a story this long online and put this much of it in a roundup of all the games that because we're going to try to be at every game, and we're going to for sure make sure we cover every championship game, because we don't want these teams to win a district championship. I know they like to cut out stuff out of the newspaper and stuff like that.
Sure.
You know, they say newspapers are not as popular, and statistically it might be true, but you walk through the hallways of some of these schools, people still cut stuff out and paste it to the wall.
It's called scrapbooks, right?
That's
Memory
right.
makers.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, yep.
Better believe it. We're talking to...
You said something about the different days they're going to play. It reminded me of something I told my wife once, that I used to play golf a lot more than I do now, and I promised her that I would only play on days that ended Y. There's somebody here we may not want to talk to today, but Science Hill soccer coach David Strickland is in line right here.
We don't talk to him.
Well, I mean, he's a great guy, but they tied Crockett 0-0 last night. The biggest game in Crockett history, because they tied Science Hill.
They never lost, never tied to Crockett. And so they tied them last night.
So normally I'd yell hey and have Dave come over. And
let that dog lie.
Well, the thing is, they got another tough game tonight. They're playing Hardin Valley at home, and I believe that might be a rematch of a state championship game from 3 or 4 years ago.
We're talking to our buddy Joe Bento. Yep, local sports, love promoting local sports. The Milligan, he had in the paper, the Milligan cycling team is heading off to Colorado to, again, be in the National Cycling Championship. I've tried to wrap my arms around a cycling competition. I've never figured that one out yet. You've covered it. Pretty interesting.
I covered an Olympic-type cycling race years ago when I worked in Wisconsin. And I was a young reporter then, and the coolest thing of the whole thing to me was I followed the race in my car, and I got 102 miles in mileage on my expense sheet that day, because I drove the route of the whole race. And I did get to interview Olympians, and that was cool. But the happiest thing for me was I got 102 miles in one day.
To turn in on your expenses. That's good.
and they kind of half tried to argue with me about it, and I said I wanted to get the bird's eye view. So
proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
Here it is. There's the mileage. All right, before I let you go, let's talk Predators. Down 2-1, lose last night 7-4 in the ice at Winnipeg. I don't know if they're in trouble yet, but
no, they're not in trouble. But
they got to get it tomorrow night.
It'd be nice to win tomorrow night. Last night they're up 3-0 after the first period, and it looks like it's going to be an easy game. And then it's 4-3 at the end of 2. Winnipeg scored 4 goals, and it's 4-4 with 5 minutes left when Winnipeg finally took the lead. So the final score looked kind of like a blowout, but it wasn't, because the last 2 were empty net goals, where the Predators pulled the goalie to get extra attacker and tried to score. And there's nothing that ticks my mom off more than anything when a team pulls the goalie.
Oh, really?
Oh, she says, they're pulling the goalie. How do they expect to stop a shot?
Your mama?
Oh, yeah. Two things that make her the angriest in sports. Pulling the goalie and anybody who misses a free throw.
Oh, really?
Yeah. One of the players on ETSU missed 6 free throws in one game down the stretch when they were trying to win one of those last 3 games to win the conference championship. And she was texting me during the game. So she told me that I better go to practice and make sure he's practicing his free throws, because, oh my goodness, Nothing ticks her off more than free throws and pulling the goalie. We told her the other day that, and we're just making it up. We just said somebody pulled the goalie and she was in the kitchen cooking, and she gave this look on her face. Oh man.
Would your mother, by definition, I've never met her, would she be by definition fiery? Would that be a safe way to say it?
No, she's funny. That's the way to say it. Oh, funny.
All right.
Funny.
All right.
And the thing about the free throws was so funny that I was in Steve Forbes' office and I asked him while I was interviewing for something. I said, "Can I shoot a little video of you that'd be off the record that you just explained to my mom about the free throws?" And he was such a good sport. He did a video for my mom saying, "Connie, these guys just don't listen. They're not coachable." He said, "I tell them to practice their free throws." It was just really funny.
He's a good guy.
He's a great guy. Yeah, it was really a funny thing, and our whole family got a big kick out of it. And yeah, we never made that public. We didn't put it online or anything. It was hilarious.
You following the NBA? Cavaliers win last night. Golden State wins last night.
My real interest in the NBA ended in Game 7 in Milwaukee and Boston.
Yeah, the Bucks.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what your Brewers are doing in baseball. I think it's a four-way tie.
They won again last night. They
got the Cubbies.
Yeah, but you know what the interesting stat with them and the Cubbies are? Here we are, the first week of May, and the Cubs have already shut out the Brewers 5 times this year. 5 times.
The Cubs lead the series 7-1 so far. They played 8 times. The Cubs
5 shutouts.
Yeah.
You know, I'm distantly related to Anthony Rizzo too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, through my mom and his aunt. They're all from the same hometown in New Jersey. So, you know, when you're a Brewers fan, you're supposed to not like the Cubs. But when they won the World Series, it was a nice story, and my dad won't let me forget. He calls him our almost cousin, Anthony Rizzo. So we're not sure exactly. But our families do go back to the same town in Italy, and our families are from the same town in New Jersey. So there's something there. Yeah, I'm not doing a DNA test to lose any sleep over it or anything. But if he was on the Brewers, I might think about it.
All right, going back into the Brewers, when you had the Brew Crew, Gorman Thomas, tell me, refresh my memory of some of the guys. Who were some of the guys going to hammer the ball? Gorman Thomas.
Ben Ogilvy was a 180-pound left fielder, led the American League in home runs.
Yep.
He had 41 home runs in 1982, and I caught the 22nd. Still have it. I caught his 22nd home run that year. I was working, and we were not allowed to, don't tell anybody in Milwaukee, we weren't allowed to keep him, but that one ended up on my mantle.
Who else?
Oh, well,
Thomas, Ben Ogilvy.
Cecil Cooper.
He
was hit 352 in 1982.
Big left-hander batter.
Yep, first baseman. Well, of course, Robin Yount, Paul Molitor, Hall of Famers. Ted Simmons was the catcher. Sal Bando and Don Money were playing third base. And
who was short? Let's go around the infield. Who was shortstop?
Yount was a shortstop. Molitor had moved to third base by then because Jim Gantner was playing second. That was the 82 Brewers. Harvey's Wallbangers.
Second base?
Second base was Jim Gantner.
First base?
Cecil Cooper. Yeah.
Right field?
Charlie Moore played right field. He was a catcher that they moved out there because of his arm when they got Ted Simmons.
Center field?
Gorman Thomas.
Left field?
Ben Ogilvy.
Yeah. Who was the ace of the pitching? Who was the big...
Well, Pete Vukovich won the MVP and the Cy Young that year, and they had Raleigh Fingers closing.
Yep.
But Raleigh got hurt and didn't play in the playoffs or the World Series when they lost in 7 games to those Cardinals. Those Cardinals. Yeah, Willie McGee was in Johnson City last year. He was a rookie in that 82 World Series, and he hit 2 home runs. And I went up to him in the dugout, and I said, "Hey, Willie," I said, you broke a lot of our hearts in 1982. And he said, "Don't take it personally." I said, we did.
Oh, so now you're following the Evil Empire. They're 19-10. They got a big win last night.
Finally, yeah.
Struck out 14, took a shutout to 8 innings, into the 8th inning, and the Yankees.
Gary Sanchez, right?
Yep. Got him for four runs, beat him 4-0. So Yanks 19-10, having a good road trip.
They're on a roll. I just like keeping an eye on those guys. What's amazing about the Yanks is all the big bombers they have right now. Didi Gregorius, the shortstop's about to win the Triple Crown. Got 10 home runs already.
Severino's 4-1. He'll be in Houston tonight against Dallas Keuchel, who's 1-4. So there you go. The Evil Empire.
You know what they say? They're going to win that one on paper, but they're going to play it on grass. Yeah.
Anything you want to leave us with, a big guy? Have you eaten yet? You want to eat?
I've got a couple days off. That's what I'm going to leave you on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I I love it. I was getting ready to ask what you're doing today. So
What I'm doing today is getting ready for my wife Rita's birthday. That's it.
Big celebration.
Yep.
You're 28, right?
That's
29?
Right. Again.
Yeah. I'm not about two things I've learned. You don't go age, you don't go weight. You whatever it is, you lowball it. So she's 29 again.
We got a new bloodhound puppy. He's 7 months old now and 60 pounds. And so when we decide to go somewhere, we got a red tick coonhound, a red bone coonhound, a bloodhound, and a little mix. So it's not as easy going away as it used to be. We got to account for all the hounds. They're couch hounds, though. We don't hunt them.
This guy's awesome. All right. So did Dom give him something to eat? I hope he did.
I think he had lunch already.
Oh, okay.
He went up and got something.
All right.
So.
Will you get you some lunch if you want?
I will. I'll get him some.
It's
lunch.
It's on me.
On Tom. That's my favorite kind.
You're awesome.
Like a guy to work with said, it's flavored with his favorite seasoning, free.
It tastes better when it's free. I got it. Appreciate you, my friend. See you soon.
Thank you. Yep.
Does a great job. Our buddy Joe Vento again with us from Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. We'll come back and close this thing out right after you hear this from our great sponsor, Chick-Fil-A.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's chicken minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini-series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, thanks to be with us. About to wrap this thing up again from Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Again, thanks to our guest, of course. Always thanks to our guest, Greg Salyer, Major League Baseball update, and of course, Joe Avento, the sports editor of the Johnson City Press Kingsport Times News. Day games in baseball, getting ready to get cranked up here. Let's run them down for you real quick. As the Red Sox and Royals are at it, top of the first inning at Fenway. Texas and Cleveland. The White Sox in St. Louis, the Rockies in Chicago against the Cubbies at Wrigley. All those are day games tonight. Under the lights, you got the Pirates of Washington, Atlanta, New York, the Yankees, and the Astros. All that coming up again later on this evening. Also, the Blue Jays and Twins start here in a few minutes, as does Tampa Bay and Detroit. All day game affairs, White Sox and the Cardinals. Again, Padres in San Francisco tonight under the lights. Pittsburgh at Washington. The Brewers in Cincinnati against the Reds. Atlanta, New York. Phillies in Miami against the Marlins. Yankees, the Astros in Houston. Dodgers in Arizona. And again, the Baltimore Orioles will take on the Los Angeles Angels. Again, that'll be happening in Anaheim tonight. The 10:07 first pitch. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, our guests today have been, and we thank always the guests. First off, you for taking the time to be part of the show. Be sure and like us and share us. The show is archived. You can go back and watch or listen to it whenever you want. A lot of folks do that later in the evening because they'll listen or watch portions of it. We understand folks are on the move, and we get that. So we appreciate that, going back and watching and listening to the show. Like it and share it, please. Again, on Facebook at the Tom Taylor Sports Show and also TomTaylorSports.com. Thank you, young lady, very much. Got me some lunch. How about that? So we would encourage you to like and share the show. And then, of course, tomorrow going to be a Champion Chevrolet right down the road, the #1 Chevy dealer in the state, where they've been moving the vehicles. Warm weather's bringing them out, and they're flat moving the merchandise, and that's good. We'll be there tomorrow broadcasting live. Then on Friday, we'll be at Food City in Boones Creek. And then looking ahead to next week, we're all over the place again. Let's see, next week we're going to be... Next week will be at Movement Mortgage, Mike's Medicine Mart, right back here at Chick-fil-A, Freddy's, and also Food City in Colonial Heights. We're going to be all over the place next week as well, as we just continue to keep it on here on wrap-up show number 739 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, our verse of the day to close it out: I am your salvation. Trust in me and do not be afraid. I am your strength and your song, out of the book of Isaiah, Isaiah 12:2. That's our verse of the day that we dedicate the show, of course, to the Lord Jesus. This is his show, and it'll go as far as he wants it to go, and it continues to grow thanks to you, and more importantly, thanks to him. All right, out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Back at it tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Champion Chevrolet. Until then, as always, we'll tell you two things. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for your time, and I mean that. And then tomorrow, until we join you tomorrow, from Champion Chevrolet, we'll tell you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching show number 739 from Chick-fil-A, the Crossings, North Johnson City. So long, everybody.